Oh, man. Woo!
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's do
go.
this.
I don't know why we're so excited, but we are.
Back at the building, doing this thing.
Yeah, man.
All right. Here we go. We're going to get this out of the way. Got to get it out of the way first.
Let's talk to the people.
Let's talk. First up, very important. I know there's people out there. We could see you. Actually, we can't. But we know that there's people out there that are not subscribed to this channel. All you got to do is hit that button right there. Just hit it. Subscribe, please. It helps us a ton. Please, just hit that subscribe button. Forget about the bell. You know, just hit that subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hit
it.
Hit the subscribe button before you do anything. Matter of fact, hit the subscribe button before you even hit play.
Wait, hold on. Did you hit it yet? We'll wait. We could sit here and wait.
Hit the subscribe button.
Just hit it. Hit that subscribe
button. And then after that, you hit the freaking like button.
Yo. Yes.
You click that little thing that goes like this.
Yes.
Looks like this. And then you hit that share button.
There you go.
You hit that freaking share button and you share it on your Facebook and you share it on your Instagram. You copy that link and you let the people know. You let them know. You
just got to let them know, man.
Just got to let them know.
Just got to let them know.
Got to let them know.
And one more thing. Cash App. We have a Cash App. If you guys feel like donating to us, where it is on the screen, probably like right here. Dre, he's going to fix that. You watch.
It's right here. It's right here. It's on this side.
Look at it. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So we have a Cash App. If you feel like donating $1, $2, $5, whatever you feel like, you don't have to. I'm not pressuring you.
Nah.
But if you feel so inclined,
hit the Cash App.
Please hit that Cash App.
That Cash App. We got shows, man. We got some.
Man.
There's so much. I ain't gonna say nothing, man.
Some good stuff in the works.
We got some interviews coming up for that ass.
And, you know, it will help us out with equipment.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, everything we do, we've gotten out of our own pocket, and that's great and that's fine. But we want to give you guys better looking, better quality type of stuff. So please, man, help us out. We got tons of stuff that we want to do.
Yes, sir. And
live shows that we're thinking about, different types of shows, different interviews.
Yeah.
We are moving, shaking.
We got some shit in the works, man. I'm really excited.
So please help us out if you don't mind hitting that Cash App. Link down below, right? We got the link for it.
Link down below, and it's right here in the video.
Yeah.
You know, just got Cash App. Plug us in there. Send us $1.
Right.
$1 helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Dollar goes a long way, man.
$1 goes a long way.
So
before we get into anything further, I do want to again shout out to AMG.
Oh yeah, man.
About my grind. The brand. AMGthebrand.com is where you can find some of the dopest clothing that's out. I wear them all the time.
Right.
Very comfortable fit. We were just talking about
this.
Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
Fit,
yeah.
Especially for a big guy like myself. So it's always a struggle to find something that fits well, feels well, especially as hot as it is right now. So shout out to AMG. Shout out to About My Grind. Make sure you go to AMGthebrand.com. Link will be in the description. And cop you something, man. Cop you something.
Right.
Fire. Got a lot of fire stuff and more stuff coming out. So shout out to AMG. Shout out to AMG, man.
Absolutely.
Black-owned business, too. So
there you go. Yeah, man.
You already know.
Oh, man. How's it going?
It's crazy, man. Great. Awesome.
I know, right? Like, good vibes going on, man.
Yeah,
you know?
Great things have been going on.
We're on this little bit of a positivity train, if you want to call it that. You know?
Right.
Things are going pretty good, man. You know? By the way, if you want the Rona... There was a man right on the corner of the freeways where the freeways meet, 10 and 101. Man, there got to have been 10,000 people out there today.
Oh, you talking about where they play soccer and shit? Oh man, they be out. Look, and here's the thing, bro. Like you know.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I ain't mad about it. I just like I ain't going there, but dude, like, it's just interesting to see.
It is, and here's the crazy thing, right? So, my daughter's softball started back up, and sorry, I got a little twitch in the nose. So this is gonna for the listeners.
Shake it out. For
the listeners, they don't care, but it's like I'm like. Okay, so I look like a mouse right now. You know what I'm saying? So don't judge me. But no, so my daughter's softball started back up, and I've been very cautious just because I'm around a lot of people, anyways. But even that has been like the way the parents have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been spaced out,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part, like there's a lot of people out there, but it's like a family here, and then 10 feet away, another family here, like. It hasn't been real crowded. I don't know what's up with that field over there, bro, but that motherfucker looks like a main event.
I don't want to dive too deep into that, but I just thought it was. People probably driving past me thinking I was a crazy person. I was straight up just laughing. I always just thought it was the funniest thing, dude. I don't know why it caught me as funny. It just did. I was like, that's some insanity right there, but
it's like
cool, man.
The whole west side of Arizona's over
whatever,
there.
Man.
Man.
Just a damn bout, dude. Like cars upon cars, people upon people.
Thousands.
Like you guys, like it looks like a concert.
It
looks like a concert is going on out there. I was like, is there a show out here? What's happening? Because I know they have shows out there every once in a while.
Right. Yeah, that's just
they've done. And I was like, they brought back shows already? Might just go hit that up. No, I'm just kidding. Ah, shit, man.
Yeah, other than that, man, everything's smooth, bro.
I want to talk about happiness, dude. And I want you to correct me. I've been having a problem with this word.
By the way, before you, and I know we always say this, bro, but before you dive in more, keep your thoughts. Stay on that thought. Really, don't even listen to me.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm tuned in.
We literally 10, 15 minutes before this podcast was like, yo, what the hell are we talking about? And then we literally like we're gonna go until something sticks.
Right. Don't mind the fly in here, by the way. If you're watching, there's a fly buzzing around.
Say, we were gonna go until we stick to the wall like a fly, and then of course there's a fly.
There's a fly. He wanted to come kick it in the gray space, man.
Bastard.
I can't blame him for that.
Dirty bastard.
Happiness. So, am I wrong? Okay, look it, man. Happy, I feel like is a word that gets abused in a lot of sense, right? Please, I want you to tell me I'm wrong. Happiness is a mood, right? It's not a mindset. Am I wrong about that? Like, listen, man. Look, I'm guilty of this as well. So I'm preaching to myself in a sense, or kind of complaining to myself, right? I've been battling this word for the past couple days, and I'm like, everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of people say, I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Well, just be happy. Well, I think it's personally, it'd be better to say, I hope you're good. Are you well? You know what I'm saying? Because happy is it can be a fleeting moment, a fleeting, thing that happens, right? So you can have something that triggers happiness, right? But you don't stay in that happiness. It's not like it sticks around. But please tell me that I'm wrong if I am wrong.
No, I'm listening. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Dissect it. As you say things,
Dissect it.
I'm like, okay. Like I'm really thinking about the question.
I don't hate the word. I just think the word is used incorrectly because
How so?
because it's like, for instance, I get a lot. I just want to see you happy. What makes you think that I'm not, happy? Happy is a mood. Like I think, yeah, I'm happy from time to time, but I don't have a shit-eating grin on my face all the time because I'm happy. You know what I'm saying?
So I think
more it'd be more of a mindset to be positive, right? Because
Agreed.
that's not happy. Positive thoughts is not it's not necessarily happy. It's just taking more to the positive side of things. So that's why I say happy.
I think happiness is I think emotions, and moods,
Mm-hmm.
are very complex. And now again, we're taking a word that really describes an emotion, right? So you can have joy. That's a emotion. That's a mood.
Right.
You can have happiness. That's an emotion, a mood. But you can also that can also be a mindset, right? And so
It can.
it's funny. I was talking to my dad yesterday.
Yeah.
Shout out to my pops, man. We had a great conversation, and he said something, and it was totally not about the subject, but it makes sense. He goes, people are afraid to be complex. People are afraid of complexity. People want things to be simple, and so I'm taking that statement and I want it to, I want to relate it to your question because happiness looks different.
Okay.
To everybody.
Right.
My version of happiness
Right.
is different than yours.
Right.
Completely different. Right? There may be similarities in the things that make us happy, but my version of happiness, the reasons why I'm happy are different, right? I think, and I also think it is a mindset. I think if you focus on being upset at things,
True.
angry,
Right. But I think that's more of a mood, though, right? Like being
your mindset can change your mood, though.
right. So I guess good point in a sense, right? Like, yeah, happiness, anger, being upset. You're in that mood, but you could be upset and still have a positive outlook on stuff,
Yeah,
right?
but that's different, but you're not happy.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing is like, it kind of. So that's the thing. The word kind of bugs me in a sense, like because I think it's overused too much. And look, I'm just as guilty. I'm like I said, I'm just as guilty as everybody else saying, "Hey, man, I want nothing to be happy for you," but. I think it needs to be. It's such a generic term in a sense to me. Like I feel like it needs to go a little. Like, are you good? Are you well? Instead of are you happy? No,
Yeah, but see, even those two ways of thinking are totally different. I can be well, right?
Yeah,
and not necessarily happy.
Exactly.
So maybe
Well, okay.
both things you can be well and not happy. Like everything could be going okay for you.
Right.
There's no real stress. There's no real, but you're not happy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
There's things in your life that you want to change and you haven't gotten there yet, and you're not happy. Now, on the flip side of that, you can be well and happy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So I'm wrong then. I kind of want you to prove me wrong. I just feel like the word is so overused
in the sense of, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to emotion and mood, gets tied to basically a state of being, of where you're at.
Right.
Right. So everybody thinks this equals this. Now, there's certain things in the world that should piss you off, and there's certain things in the world that generically should make you happy, right? Your kids, the love of your kids,
Right.
should make you happy, right? For the most part, a partnership with whoever, a
Right.
friend, a romantic relationship, for the most part, should make you happy. Are there going to be times that are difficult? But for the most part, at the end of the day, you should go to sleep and be like, she makes me happy. He makes me happy.
Right.
Right?
Right. Okay.
They piss
I
me
gotcha.
off in these certain times, but at the end of the day, I would rather deal with this because they make me happy. Now, there's also a skewed sense of happiness,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so complex. That word and emotional words like joy and anger and,
Yeah. I got
there's so many.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So again, when we always tie, okay, the American way, money equals success. Does it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Success equals being happy. Does it? Right?
Right.
People can be viewed as successful and they're not happy with the way their life is because of all the stresses that come, but they're well.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? I'm well.
Yeah.
I'm well, right? But are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I agree with you that it is an overused term.
So, and this is why I brought it up.
In a question, real quick, in a question form, it's an overused term when somebody asks you,
Oh, are you happy?
"Are you happy?"
Mm.
It is very seldomly used when somebody is describing their emotional
Correct.
status.
And I think that's the good point. Very good point on that, because I think that's my issue with it now that you said that, because I was like, what is my, because I have, the issue has come up this week for myself is, Zeke, I just want to see you happy with somebody. And I'm like, what makes you think I'm not doing good and I'm not happy with where I'm at? Like, what makes you think that you want to, like, that I need to be with somebody? Now, would I like, of course, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm against that. It just, that particular thing of, oh, I just want to see you happy. Do I look pissed off? Do I look like I'm not good?
Right.
Do I look
Right.
like I'm
Right.
unhappy?
Right.
Like, and I think that's like, specifically this week, for whatever reason, has been that particular
Everybody's
word.
hitting you
And
up, like-
it has been just in my head of like, shut up with the word happy.
Because again, people's idea of happiness is different, right? So, and a lot of it has to do with society, right? How are we as a society and traditions, and we believe that certain things are just supposed to make us happy, right? Like, there's people out there who are supposed to be alone. They
thrive on it.
They thrive on being alone.
Sure.
And
they move a different way. Sure.
If at some point them being alone doesn't make them happy, I think people always get afraid of, like, and okay, so popped in my head the idea of death. Right?
Okay.
So let's just take relationships and that word.
That makes me happy.
Okay. No, but I'm saying
Just-
people right. No, right. It makes everybody happy, right? But the fear of dying alone.
Right.
And so your love for somebody, you could be looking at it like, well, you're alone right now, so you're going to be alone forever. So that's where they come up with this like, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I am. Everything in my life is going the way I want it to right now.
Right.
I don't need that to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's icing on the cake. That's the sprinkles. That's
Right.
the candle.
Yes.
For me.
Right.
For you needed that
Right.
to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where people, again, your view of what happiness looks like rather than what it actually is to each individual person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I like that because, you know, everybody does have a different version of a happiness. You know, what makes
For
them
sure.
happy. I mean, shoot, music for instance, right?
Man.
Like country music might do it for somebody, but it might not do it for me, right? Or whatever. It could be a
Right.
particular song. That's a form. That can be a form of happiness. Like,
course.
oh, I know if I put this on, I'm going to be happy.
Because I'm happy to feel like
Right?
Because I'm happy.
But I just, you know, and so I agree with you, and thanks for, because I'm like, I was really kind of struggling with that in the sense of, man, I'm tired of hearing this word.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, it was so predominant this week of, hey, man, I just want to see you happy. That's all I want is to see you happy, man. Do you seriously say it again? Do I look that unhappy?
So
like,
the response,
you know,
the response to that would have to be I am.
of course, I'm
Like,
like
not even like, do I look unhappy? Because then it's an explanation. No. I'm just saying. I am. I'm very happy. Would you like me to explain to you why I'm happy? And then most people be like, no.
Right.
I want to see you with a woman. Or I want to see you with a partner. I want to see, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
whatever the case may be for you personally.
Right.
And then you can explain, oh, well, if that comes and it adds to my happiness, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I was just talking to somebody about this. We have a tendency to look for things to satisfy ourselves. And the one weird thing that I've always come across in my short life is that I call it the keys effect. The minute I stop looking, it shows up at my doorstep. It's okay to be focused on goals,
sure,
things you want to accomplish, because you want to be at a certain place in life. Once you there are things that you want to conquer,
right.
And that's a natural feeling. But if you're doing it to make you happy, to satisfy yourself,
well, that shit would drive you nuts.
Because here's the thing. What we know is absolute is failure. We know that every time we do something, right, there's always the chance of failure.
Sure.
Doesn't matter the percentage. So if you fail, are you now not happy?
Right.
Right? Or if you make it this freaking far and at the end, are you now not happy? No, because you just took how many steps to get here?
Right.
And something stopped you. But now maybe something else opened up.
Right. Another door opens up your way to take.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because it might not be the path that you're, you know, but then
Right.
you're like, oh, crap, good thing I didn't go this way, because this way made me actually way more happier than if I would have end result
So the more you look
here.
for happiness, the farther away it gets from you. The
True.
more you look
Yes.
for satisfaction, the farther away it gets from
That's
you.
a good point. Yeah.
The more you see everything and take the things that are present in your life and take the things that you've gone through and that you have conquered and look at those things and cherish those things as to where you are now, you will learn that, damn, I'm a lot happier than I thought I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's another thing too, man. You know, people get so caught up in
Yeah.
the movement of whatever, you know, their life movement of
Right.
whatever, and you to stop and reflect and to see if you actually are happy with the
Right.
movement that you've made, because you're so busy, right? Most people are so busy moving and shaking,
chasing.
right? Right.
It's not
And
just moving and shaking,
but
bro.
I mean,
It's chasing.
Right. But then, cool, you have the goal, chase it, fine. But do you see the steps that you've made?
Right.
And to reflect on that, you know, and to go, man, I'm so happy with the results that actually came of that. And then going back to, I wanted to go in this line, but it kind of veered off just a little bit. And I'm so much happier now that I went actually this direction now looking back. But people don't tend to look back or, like to where, where they came from. Right. And to see the success or failure and learn from your failure. Right. Go listen to our podcast, Failure Equals Success. But, lay that out, in that, finding happiness by looking to see where your trajectory is.
Exactly. By looking to see where your trajectory is at that moment in time. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. Right. So, because as we're talking, I'm thinking, well, okay, it is okay to be unhappy with the result. No, it's okay to be disappointed in the result.
Correct.
Of wherever you are. Right. But you have to take that, use it as a lesson. Okay, I didn't get here this time. Now the next time I try to catapult, I've learned from all, and I'm happy with the knowledge that I have now. Right. So now when I walk into this room, I wasn't prepared in this room. I thought I was. Mm-hmm. But now when I walk into this room and I knock down this door, I'm prepared. Right? I'm prepared for at least everything that was thrown my way this time. Right. And maybe that's the time that I'm going to knock out whatever it is that I'm going after. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, yeah, I mean, you have to, like, literally, man, like, you'll fuck around and get caught up.
And that's I'm really glad.
Chasing happiness.
I'm really glad you brought that
happiness,
up. Right.
Happiness. And it would be like, the fucking commercial. Oh, you got to be quicker than that. Like, that's the fucking, I think it's like State Farm or whatever. Wow. And he has a fucking dollar on the fishing rod. Yeah. And she's like, you got to be quicker than that. Like, chasing happiness is like that. It's dangling in front of your face. You have an idea of how it's supposed to look, but you need to look internally and find out what actually makes you happy as a person. And you need to be willing to understand what makes you sad and angry, and be willing to conquer those things as much as you're trying to chase happiness. Because as long as you have something in you, right, that you succumb to and always surrender to, right, as far as your anger and your sadness, right, especially anger, right, as long as you have something in you that you're willing to surrender to, you can never be happy. Because anytime this happens, you're willing to go that way. You're willing to say, fuck happiness. I'm going to surrender to my anger at this. And dude, I struggle with it. Right. I do. Mm-hmm. Like, just driving in a car.
Very
from
true,
here to
man.
work and work to home. I'm like, I'm going to be happy this ride. I'm going to be happy this ride. You son of a bitch. Will you fucking go so I can get over? Why are you driving next to me for fucking 10 miles? Either go past me or get behind me. I zoom, use what the... I'm going to be happy this ride. I'm going to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
So is there something is there something like a guaranteed for you that actually can put you in that happy spot? Because I'll just say, because when you were talking about that, I was like, man, for me personally, and I know I mentioned it just a couple minutes ago, for me personally, music, there is certain music I can put on knowing my mood, going, this will put me back on a happy track. Or, you know what I'm saying? Put me back on the right track to be happy. If something, for instance, in your car, right? Pissed off, whatever. You live out in AZ, you get pissed off a lot. Anyways.
Low key. When
I was driving over here, I had some issues myself. And, anyways. Yeah. So I could go down the road because I feel like we go down it a lot. But there's a lot of issues with drivers out here. Anyways. Right. But I know, man, if I flip on something, music-wise, there's nothing like it for me. That will, whatever the chemical, something's going on in my brain, that will just trigger, and I will honestly kind of forget about what kind of just happened. Or
For sure.
And it will put me
Music
back.
will do that, yeah.
And I was just curious if there was something like that.
For
like,
me, man, like, I think the main thing that always like snaps me the hell out of it is my kids, bro.
So I was just gonna say,
like, I feel like now they
not
can put me into it as quickly as they can snap me out of it, right? Like it could literally happen within 30 seconds to 5 minutes. Like they could piss me off and then make me happy, all within the same interaction. You know what I'm saying? But for like when I think about, you know, like it doesn't matter what kind of day it is. If my kids do certain things, you know, my daughter will, you know, my oldest will say certain things, and you know, I'm super proud of her, even though she gets on my nerves a ton. But I'm super proud of her, and just watching her grow makes me happy. Watching the person that, you know, she's trying to become, trying to find, makes me happy. My middle one makes me happy, and just her intelligence and you know, she's so young, so intelligent, the crazy little goofy stuff she does. You know, my youngest one, when I come home, she reaches out to my face, and it's like, it doesn't matter what the fuck happened for the, you know, past 8 hours, 9 hours. Like when I walk in, like, and she reaches up and she's just smiling, like how, I don't care what is going on. That shit makes me happy. Like that's the top thing, is like when they just look at you and they're like, yo, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like their whole vibe is like, it's all good. Everything's good. Everything's lovely. And there's flowers. There's butterflies in your head. Like, no, it's terrible out here. But then they're like, nah, but it's butterflies and songs. And you know what I'm saying? And we're tipping.
right.
And that makes me happy, because I know at the end of the day, like where we are as adults, most of us come from that kind of place, that kind of just pure love. And when you get that, it's, you know, seeing sometimes just I'll be at work and I'll see a kid that just does something hella funny, like off in the cut, and I'm like, and I'm having a terrible day, right? And they say something goofy as hell to their mom, and the mom is like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? You know, and I'm like, Go ahead, man. Go ahead, little bro. I see you out here. You know what I'm saying? You know,
also, man, just to add to that, you know, would be animals can do that as well. For sure, for like certain animals, like you see, you know, some videos or whatever, and doing some dumb, weird, just funny, intelligent things, you know, and just will make you happy, and you know, just put you in a spot, you know.
You just reminded me of something, bro. So I got my boy Alex, we call him Chino. My boy Chino at work, right? And he has I think it's his dog. He has a dog, and I think I want to say it's a pug, bro. I want to say. And I'm gonna say this: if we have any kids listening, which you shouldn't be, but because this is the gray space and we talk that shit, okay? Anyways, he has a dog, and the dog like literally sits up and like strokes himself, bro. And it's the fucking, it's the weirdest. Not that makes me happy, but it makes you laugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the pug literally sits up and like, and will just. And he was like, dude, and he fucking watches. He just fucking looks me right in my eyes, and I'm like, dog, the dog loves you, bro. The dog loves you, bro. Man. I'm like, is it more disrespectful that he's just sitting there looking at you, right, doing this, or if he actually came up and humped your leg, like. I'm like, damn, if you go like that shit is weird. You know what I'm saying? But it made me think of that when you say animals, man. It's so funny.
But I do
totally random.
I do live vicariously through you and your family. Going back to your kids, you know, hopefully you don't mind me mentioning your family. Of course, man. Dude, I love walking in this door.
Yeah, hey, and Uncle Zeke, all the kids.
The first time, you know, okay, the middle one, right, will run up to me. Amaya will run up to me and give me the biggest hug. Uncle Zeke.
I can't in the building.
come see what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the most happy you could ever feel, right? And then I see the little one, right? It in her little roll around, like just cruising around, scooting around,
right?
And she's looking at me, and I'll wave to her, say hi to her, and she stops and gets this big smile on her face, puts a smile on my face. Then your oldest will walk in the door here.
Yeah, she's like fashionably late when you
right.
When you,
she's
like,
always the last one.
She's like, I'm gonna let them do their thing.
Always
and then
the last
like,
one to greet. But
Uncle Zeke.
I love when she walks in and goes, "Hi, how you doing?" She just has that demeanor to her.
Yeah, and it's tell you about everything that's going on.
And
Uncle
I
Zeke,
love.
Did you hear?
Love every second of it.
Did my dad tell you?
Right. She does.
Did my dad tell you?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Right. But that makes me happy as well. So to kind of reiterate what you were saying about your family, I get it because obviously different level because I'm the Uncle Zeke here.
Yep.
But definitely seeing kids like in a store or something like that doing something silly, dude. Just
now, if you got some badass kids,
right? Well,
yeah, I'm not happy. I'll be walking around like, man, if you don't smack the shit out this little motherfucker, man. Oh, speaking of that, bro, there was an incident where these two sisters were fighting. They were young. And one had to be about, I want to say like between 4 and 6, like 4, 5, 6, and the other one was like between 6 and 8.
Okay.
Right. So they were couple years apart, and the younger one's sitting at the front of the cart where the kids sit,
right,
and the other one's in the actual basket, and the mom must have been walked off, and she's trying to get some salad dressing or whatever the fuck, and the little one turns around like this, turns around and starts mopping the older one. I mean, just whoop, 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 whoop. And like she's taking this girl is taking an ass whooping. I'm like, where the fuck is the mom? Now she did come into the shot. Like this wasn't a long ass time.
Right.
But it felt so long because she hit her with like 10. Bink, 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 bink. And then she grabs her sister's head, and she's like,
oh my gosh.
And the mom finally runs over, and she's like, are you okay? And then she turns around and she's like getting on the younger one. I'm like, man, there's that side of kids.
The older
too,
one was not happy.
The older one was getting her ass kicked. Like, you better do some jujitsu or something. All right. Man. The fuck, like
start her young, man.
Yeah,
get her in, man.
We know who gonna lose in a scrap when y'all get older.
For
man.
sure,
the younger
man.
one was throwing them hands, man.
Oh my gosh,
you gotta watch her, boy. She tears. She gonna be suspended in the motherfucking like 2nd grade.
Oh
and shit.
Man.
So yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like back to the point, man. Music for sure too, bro. Music for sure makes me happy, man. So,
yeah. I want to get into the complex thought real quick, man. Before we end up on this happiness thing, during this whole time when you said that really sparked a thought in my head.
Shit was crazy.
And so your dad's opinion is we're afraid of complex.
Just thinking complex, like complexity.
Right.
Like everything has to be.
Is that why nobody likes the gray space or what?
Right. Nah, hey.
We too complex for you guys or what?
Nah,
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just playing.
Go ahead.
No, it's just that's really an interesting thought. And I'm, me, man. Like I love stuff like that. Like you throw that at me, like I don't have really anything. Right. Maybe at the moment I don't, but. Because typically, simple works. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's easy,
right?
And it works,
right? Because I think there's really two sides to this coin now. Just sitting here thinking about it, and I'd really have to give it more thought.
I love where you're going. Go ahead.
Because sometimes complex, just doesn't work sometimes. In a sense of, especially dealing with other people, throwing complex things around can really mess. It basically it's like taking a jigsaw puzzle and then really scrambling the pieces up, right? Because you're trying to make it too complex.
Agreed.
Right? I think that's an interesting thought though, because I think we need complex thought, right? We need complex emotions and feelings, but I think also simple works just as well sometimes, and to not get so caught up in complex. So I think there's a happy balance. There's a, just off the top of my head, because, man, you got me the whole time, man. We were talking about happiness. I'm like, man, complex.
So
complex
I got a question for you based on what you just said. And I don't have the answers, all right? And I never do. I'm just stating opinion. But could it be that the reality, and I feel like it is this way, the reality is complex. Like things that are in front of us, the issues, the problems, the relationships,
you're talking about like social,
I'm saying social issues. I'm saying relationship issues,
right.
Like the way we have the things we have to deal with in life in general are complex, especially the older you get, right? But that the solution is simple. Should be very simple.
It should be simple.
The way it's like, oh my gosh, all these things are going on. Okay, but let's actually simplify it to this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but see, in the thought I had was, again, I like comparing things to music, right? When music is so complex, sometimes it's so hard to understand the complexity of that particular song. You're like, man, there's this going on, there's this going on, there's this going on, there's this going on, there's this going on. There's 8 instruments that are happening all at once, right? It's so complex. What if we took away, this and this, and it's just the beat and a guitar and a singer? Right? And you go, that is fire. That works. When you start adding shit, you're just adding shit to try to make it complex. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to make it complex when simpler just works.
The idea was complex.
Correct. So
how you got there was complex, but the actual result was a simple result, right? We simplified it so that in its simplicities were also its complexities. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like painting a picture. Or shout out to Metaphorical, my motherfucking guy. Taking a picture, the subtleties,
right,
the softness, the simplicities, the naturalness,
right, the shadows,
just
all,
the little,
all that,
and with all the simpleness of that, it's very complex. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we have to understand that when I'm painting a picture, I'm seeing this world that is beautiful and complex, and there's so much going on. But when I go to show what that world is, I'm gonna make it very simple so you get the message. Right. And so I think both things are true. I think you have to be you have to understand that the things that you deal with in life and the things that you see in life are very complex. The way you react to it most of the time can be very simple.
Right. Well, what's the one thing that happens too, right? When a situation arises, right? And your brain starts really getting complex with it, right? And starts going down these weird paths. Right? Okay, so if you say this to me, then I'm gonna react this way. If he goes this direction and he's a little more mellow, then I can react this way. But if he's really angry with me, I know how to. And then what happens? Nothing. It's usually like, you're like, yeah, true. You're like, bro, no problem.
Very
like,
true.
What issue you talking about? All in your head. So very interesting because humans are so complex.
That's my point.
Yes, and I'm getting there.
Right, go ahead.
In a roundabout way. Yeah, yes, I'm agreeing with you. We're so complex, and we make things so complex, right? When sometimes it doesn't need to be so complex. Even with that experiment of your brain going down this road of being complex when it's not really a complex thing, whatever issue that is. Feel like you want to say something.
No, I'm thinking. I'm listening and I'm thinking.
Okay.
I feel like you have to address the complexities in order to get to the simplicities, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Right?
So I think when you don't understand that things
like you do personally, right? Is that what you're saying? Like me personally would have to deal with the complexity of it, not necessarily
in order to get to the point of like you can't think that these certain things, like, okay, being in a relationship is a very complex thing.
Very, yes. Yeah.
And you can't always think you're going to deal with it the same way every time and be simple about dealing with it the same way every time.
You're right, yes.
You have to understand that this is a complex situation. Dissect it and then realize that how you need to attack the situation can be very simple. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand the complexities of whatever, a social issue, a relationship issue, a friendship issue, a relationship with a family issue, right? Whether it be your kids, your parents, your auntie, your uncle, whatever, right? You need to understand that these relationships and these issues are very complex. And if you don't realize that, then what you will do is you will disregard everything that needs to go into consideration when coming up with a solution in how to deal with that, right?
Right.
I can't paint the picture if I don't see all the complexities. Now, the picture may be simple. The picture may only highlight the sun and the trees because out of all the complexities, that's what made the most sense.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I only see, then actually I will never be able to paint the picture. You won't feel the complexities because you won't see the little shadow right here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand the complexities in order to understand the simplicities.
Right. So, going back to happiness.
Right.
Happiness is complex. Quit telling everybody to be freaking happy.
I love how you did that, man.
I'm serious though. That's why I kind of went into the complex thing, because happiness is complex. Quit telling everybody to be happy.
I 100% agree.
I get it though. I get, like, especially from loved ones and friends, family, whatever, and they say they want to see you happy. But you have to understand it's such a broad stroke to somebody. Like, you got to understand the complexity with that word. And I think, thank you, Gray Space. I'm glad I've joined in on the conversation, because I seriously brought that issue because I wanted to kind of work it out.
Right.
Because I had no answer when we sat at this table. Right. Really didn't, and I'm glad we
now,
had the conversation.
There's other depths.
Of course. Of
because
course.
if somebody's
But it made me think about stuff, and I hope it makes, this is the point of this show, right? Is we don't have all the answers to everything.
right.
That's not the point of this show. This point is to have complex thought about certain things, right?
Okay.
And to come to a simplistic point of view, right?
Some way, somehow.
To boil it down, right?
Right.
So all you got left is your pasta.
Bare minerals. Yep.
Yeah, you got your pasta left, and you're gonna eat your pasta. Okay.
Well, you been hanging around me a lot, boy. God damn, you got little analogies, metaphors, and shit, bro.
But yeah, seriously though,
Shout out to you.
But yeah, man.
Now, if you have somebody in your life who is dealing with addiction, abuseful substances, stuff like that, or in an abuseful relationship, like that's different. Like,
Of course.
that shit ain't making you happy.
Right.
Your version of happy is a little
Skewed.
little
A little.
tad
A
bit
little.
off. So
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But if somebody's just living their life and they're not necessarily where you are, and really, unless that person. Now, if you tell somebody, hey, I want you to be happy, and they're like, I am happy, but every time you see them, they're like, man, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. You're like, well, you just told me you were happy yesterday.
Right.
So which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Yeah. You brought up a good point, man. Everybody's dealing with different things, in their own life, and to say, hey, I think you'd be happy if you did this, or
Right.
you think you'd be happy if you did that. Man, you just don't know all the certain circumstances and everything that somebody's going through. Again, the complexity of another human being, what they're actually going through. Just because
Agreed.
you see something that's you think is lacking in somebody else's life and go, I think you'd be happy if you found somebody. I am happy, man.
Agreed.
Like, again, kind of going back for full circle. You don't know the complexity of that particular issue with that particular person. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So just be mindful, I would say. I don't,
Always be
by the way,
mindful.
I don't hate the word happy. I just kind of was a little
No,
annoyed
man.
with the word happy. I was like, man, this
Great.
shit's a little overused in my head, in my version of this past week, So
Great point, man.
just wanted to kind of get it off my chest a little bit.
Point.
So, and
I
bring it
agree.
to the table. So, man, we got some great stuff. I know we said in the beginning of the episode, but man, you guys have to tune in. I'm promoting. We have some guests coming up within the next. Fall's going to be crazy, by the way.
Fall's going to be
Fall is going to be,
nuts.
by the way, fall hits September 22nd. I don't know when you're watching this, but we're in the first part of September. So fall is just right around the corner.
Yep.
Fall for us is going to be big. We got a lot of things lined up. Please stay tuned. Stay with us. We got some cool interviews.
We got some
Lined up,
guests.
basically,
We
right?
got some guests, and we have some if you ever played spades, we got some books, and we got some P's. We got some possibles. You know what I'm saying? So right now we got 2 and 2 P's. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 and a couple possibles.
And
3 and a couple possibles.
making its comeback is the Essentials. My man Dray over here
It's coming back.
is doing another Essentials. Please stay tuned. He's coming out really soon. He's just working on it. Tune into the Essentials. You have to. I'm not doing a What You Heard this week. So if you're watching this on Tuesday or Wednesday and you're like, where's the What You Heard I'm so used to? I'm not doing it this week. I'm taking a little vacation. Getting out of this damn heat for a couple days.
Right.
And just trying to get
Flagstaff.
get my mind right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, man. Essentials
Yes.
coming out soon. If you love sports, if you love music, and if you love battle rap, that's the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
And current events as well. So, yeah, I'm just going to be on there talking my shit, man.
Yep.
Talking
I'm
my
looking
shit.
forward to it.
I'm
I
getting-
haven't seen
getting
nothing
back
yet,
to
by
it.
the way. He will not show me for whatever
Nah,
reason. He's
nah.
scared. He's nervous. I don't know what's going on over here, man. My man
Not
won't
at
show
all,
me
man.
nothing.
Not at
Hey,
all,
you know
man.
what's funny? I walked into the room. It was up on the computer. I was like, man, he's going to show me this. What did he do? Command Q. He Command Q'd that.
No, he didn't know I'm going to show him afterwards, but I wanted to make sure we got through, did our
I'm just
pregame
playing,
shit, and, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, get this podcast
Yeah.
going. Hey,
Anyways.
real quick, man, shout out to everybody who tunes in every week on the YouTube page. Shout out to all of our listeners. I know sometimes it sounds like we forget you guys, but shout out to the people who just listen to the podcast.
Absolutely.
And don't see it. We love y'all. Thank y'all. Yeah, man, and just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Shout out to everybody.
Stay tuned.
Shared everything and
stay safe and stay positive, everybody.
And as always, this right here is the gray space.